Keep going!
Are you sure?
Ah, they're closing in! No choice. Almost there!
Okay.
This is our only way out.
Are you sure?
No choice. Hold on! Help us!
Okay.
Ah! Help! No, 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 no! Get me out! Ah! Ah! Yes!
The forest is silent. Too silent. Then, a violent crack. Branches snap. The ground shakes. He runs. His breath is short. His lungs burn. Behind him, a massive elephant tears through the vegetation, eyes bloodshot with rage. Every step is a matter of life or death. He shouldn't have started with this 24 hours earlier. His name is Daniel, 32 years old, former safari guide, in debt, ruined, no way out. When the offer came, he didn't hesitate long. $150,000. In exchange, traverse a course made of 12 extreme traps. One goal? Survive. He signed without reading all the clauses. Mistake. The elephant charges again. Daniel slips in the mud. He gets up. 20 meters ahead, he spots a wooden structure suspended between two trees. A shelter? Or another trap? He hears a cold voice in his earpiece. Trap number 3 activated. He realizes something terrible. The elephant is not there by chance. It's programmed, and it's only the third trap. Daniel climbs the wooden structure. As soon as his hands touch the first plank, it gives way slightly. Too light, too fragile. It's not a refuge. It's a test. The elephant crashes into the tree behind him. The trunk shakes. Daniel jumps. He grabs a rope suspended above a ravine he hadn't seen in the panic. He looks down. Spikes. Hundreds. Metal. Rusty. Blood-stained. Each trap tests a human weakness. Strength. Fear. Intelligence. Morality. Morality? Why morality? Daniel understands that this game is not just physical, it's psychological. The elephant suddenly stops. It doesn't jump. It doesn't try to attack. It steps back, as if given an invisible order. Then it disappears. Daniel hangs above the void, heart racing. He survived, but this was just a warm-up. After crossing the ravine, he reaches a strange clearing. Total silence. Then he hears voices, faint, calls for help. Daniel. He freezes. It's his sister's voice. Impossible. She died 3 years ago. He moves forward. The voices grow louder. They come from the ground. He looks down. Holes hidden under leaves. He steps on them. The ground collapses. He falls. He lands in a dark pit. Something slithers over his arm, then another over his leg. Snakes. Dozens. Venomous. Some brightly colored. He cannot panic. The voice returns. The venom takes effect in 90 seconds. In the center of the pit, a ladder, but each rung is electrified intermittently. He must choose the right timing. A snake bites his boot, luckily thick leather. But for how long? He climbs. A shock. He falls. The snakes stir. He tries again, again, again. Finally, he gets out, but his arm bleeds. A bite. The skin starts to blacken. The venom spreads. He moves forward, weakened. He arrives in front of 2 metal doors in the middle of the jungle. Yes, 2 industrial doors amid the trees. Above, a video screen turns on. Another participant, tied up, gagged. The voice says, "To open the correct door, you must press the red button. The button will activate a mechanism. The participant will survive, or not." Daniel understands. To move forward, he may have to kill someone. He hesitates. Time is limited. His arm burns. The poison spreads. The voice counts down. 10, 9, 8. He presses. A scream. The doors open. He doesn't know what happened to the other person, and that's the worst part. He enters a dry area. The ground is covered with invisible oil. Sensors detect his steps. Flames erupt in a circle around him. The forest is ablaze. Not natural, controlled. He must run through the safe zones, but some zones are fake, visual illusions projected by holograms. He crosses a safe zone. Fire bursts under his feet. His jacket catches fire. He rips it off, screaming. His skin burns, but he makes it out, half burned, still alive. Night falls. He enters an invisible metal cage. Glass walls close around him. Gas, transparent. He suffocates. On one wall, a complex math puzzle. He must solve it to release the oxygen. Brain slowed by poison, eyes burning from smoke. He solves it, at the last breath. The cage opens. He falls to the ground. And then, the voice changes, closer, more human. "You're doing better than expected, Daniel." He recognizes the voice. Impossible. It's his former partner, the man who ruined him. We stop here for now. There are still 4 traps, the truth behind the organization, the real reason for the $150,000, and the most important question: is anyone really meant to survive? Daniel stays on the ground, gasping. The forest seems frozen around him. Then the screen on a tree lights up. Yes, a tree. Its trunk opens like a mechanical door. Inside, a screen. A face appears. Victor Hale, his former partner, the man who betrayed him, the man who emptied his accounts, destroyed his safari business, and disappeared. You wanted to survive, Daniel. I wanted to see if you could. Daniel grits his teeth. Why me? Victor smiles. Because you're the only one who has ever survived an elephant charge. Silence. Daniel understands. This isn't a game. It's a study. The forest changes. The trees grow taller, too tall. Shadows stretch unnaturally. He moves, and the ground seems to warp, not physically, mentally. Speakers emit low, almost inaudible frequencies. His perceptions blur. He sees figures, human shapes among the trees, but they don't move. They're watching him. Then a figure steps forward. It's him, his own face, burned, disfigured. He steps back. The ground opens.
He falls into an underground tunnel. He lands in a damp corridor. The walls are organic. They pulse. They breathe. No, it's not biological. It's a projected illusion. But his brain believes it. He moves forward. Mechanical insects emerge from the walls, small, metallic. They inject something under his skin. A toxin? No, a tracker. Victor speaks. We're measuring your panic threshold. Doors open and close randomly. He must choose the correct path, but each mistake triggers blades shooting from the walls. He is cut on the shoulder, bleeding heavily. He rips a piece of cloth to compress the wound. He runs, turns, bleeds. Finally, he finds the exit. Only 2 traps remain, but Daniel is at his limit. His arm is infected, skin burned, vision blurry, and the voice becomes more personal. You know what's fascinating, Daniel. The others begged. You keep going. Daniel replies, almost whispering, I have nothing left to lose. A silence. Then the voice turns cold. Mistake. He arrives in a large circular clearing. At the center, a metal platform. On the platform, a woman, tied up, alive. She cries. A screen lights up. Victor explains. This is Clara, another participant. The final trap is simple. Only one can leave. 2 buttons, red, black. Red, he survives, she dies. Black, she survives, he dies. Daniel looks at Clara. She looks at him. He sees the same terror in her eyes as in his. But something is wrong. The ties around her are too neat. No wounds, no signs of struggle. It's a psychological trap. He observes the platform, weight sensors, a third hidden mechanism beneath the structure. He understands. He doesn't have to play by their rules. Despite the pain, he crawls under the platform. He rips out cables. An alarm blares. The voice changes, more aggressive. Stop immediately. He doesn't stop. He destroys the central mechanism. The platform collapses. Clara falls beside him, alive. The screens go dark. The forest returns to silence. But suddenly, the ground shakes, stronger than the elephant. Spotlights turn on around the clearing. Drones appear in the sky. Victor speaks one last time. Congratulations, you refused the system. A trap door opens beneath their feet. Daniel and Clara fall into darkness. One trap remains, the real one, the 12th, the one that wasn't on the contract. Daniel and Clara fall into the darkness. Impact. Silence. When Daniel opens his eyes, he is no longer in the forest. He is in a white room, immense, cold. Around him, screens, thousands of screens. On each screen, people, spectators, statistics, live bets. Victor appears, but this time it's not just on a screen. He is there, in person, clapping slowly. Welcome to the final trap. Daniel struggles to get up. What was all that? Victor smiles. Entertainment. People pay to see how far a man will go for $150,000. The screens show a counter. Global audience, 23,842,911 viewers. Comments scroll by. He's going to crack. He should have pressed the button. Let the woman die. Daniel realizes it wasn't a survival test. It was a test of humanity. Victor approaches. The final trap is simple. You can leave with the money, but the world will know you chose to play. Silence. Daniel looks at the screens. He sees the greedy stares. He sees the bets. He sees the pleasure in fear. He closes his eyes. Then he says, "Keep your money." He steps forward and strikes Victor. The screens go dark one by one. The drones fall. The system shuts down. Black. And if someone offered you $150,000, but at the cost of your life, at the cost of your humanity, is money really worth the fear, the pain, the risk of never returning? Daniel survived the traps, the elephant, the manipulation, but the real question is you. Write it in the comments. I really want to know. And if this story kept you on the edge of your seat, if you want to see even more extreme challenges, help us reach 100,000 subscribers. We are a community. We are building something big. Subscribe now, because the next challenge could be worse.